Hello and welcome to the Room 2. One last episode, we completed the second chapter of the game, and today we'll be completing the third chapter of the game. And to start off with, we can't really do a whole lot. We can look around a very tiny room, and that's about it. So what we want to do to get out of this room is turn the camera up to the sky, slide this middle bar out to the left, add it to your inventory, and then doing that will cause this door right here to fall forward. And you will then be able to step into the temple itself, and just like with the last episode, this is going to look a lot prettier on PC than on mobile devices, so don't be caught off guard by the upgraded visuals, because the actual puzzle solving, as for the last episode, is still the exact same. So first things first, we're going to double click on this box in the center of the room, then slide this piece to the right, then to the left, and then back to the right again to let it fall, and we can flip the switch to the left to reveal a secret compartment in which we're going to get our hands on a very small token. Now that we have the small token, what we're going to do is going to back out, or zoom out, I guess, and then head to this small golden tower right here. We're going to pick it up. And it seems very out of place in regards to the aesthetic style of the rest of the box, right? Well, as I promised before, I'll promise again, there is a reason for everything. Now then, we're going to go over to this crossbow right here and pick up the small wooden handle that we're going to find right here. And for as tempting as it is to use the crossbow now, we can't, because it's missing a few key components, such as this metal bar, which we can attach right here. But we're still not done. We still have some more things we got to put on the crossbow before we can actually use it. So let's go take care of that right now. First things first, head back over to this table, and then we're going to turn it around until we get to this hole right here. Drag the wooden handle and put it on, and then now we are in control of this sliding thing right here. So here's what we got to do. First things first, you want to drag this symbol into the middle and then move it up one. I promise you there's a method to the madness. So now we can drag this symbol and move it into the middle slot, drag it up one, move to the left, and then from here all we got to do is drag this one into the middle, drag it all the way down, drag it back into place, and then drag this one into the upper slot, and then drag it down here. And now what we can do is we can safely drag this one into the upper slot, this one into the middle slot, and this one into the bottom slot so that all the symbols match. And doing so is going to give us a special little piece for the crossbow. A trigger mechanism. So now that we have this, we're going to back out and head back over to the crossbow, and then we'll place it on, like so. But we're still not done yet. We're still missing a very, very critical piece of the crossbow. And that would be, oh god, that's some lag. In this chest right here, we're going to zoom in on the chest, and then zoom in on this handle right here, which we're going to rotate counterclockwise. And then we're going to pull it out and get our hands on a length of string. Now this is the final piece of the crossbow that we need to get it fully operational again. So let's head back over here, put the string where it belongs, and now we can finally use the crossbow with the bolts that we're going to find in this chest right here. So, let's grab a crossbow bolt for ourselves, put it into place, like so, drag it back until it locks in place, then double click right here to zoom in, and now when you move the camera, you will be aiming the crossbow. You want to aim for this hole right here, aim so that the arrow right here is facing into the dark hole, and then pull the switch to fire, and it will go straight through the hole. First things first in this section, what you want to do is you want to place the small token we found earlier onto this upper left piece right here. And this is a little bit of a mini game. So what we want to do here is first things first, you want to slide this switch to the right. That's going to be important later. Now the way this works is that with every step you move onto a tile, the opposing piece also takes a step. The goal is to get this to the end over here without the other piece catching up to you. So here's how you do that. You want to move this first piece all the way over here, and then you want to move the piece back one to trick it onto this plate, then move it to the left, and now you are clear to move this piece all the way to the end. The other piece will not catch up to you so long as you keep moving along this path and get to the bottom right. Very, very simple puzzle, and that is going to give you a small key. Now, what are we going to do with the small key, you may ask? Well, we're going to use it to open up the chest we saw earlier. So let's back out of here, go over to the small chest that we found over here, and if we zoom in right here, we're going to find a key that we got to put in here, and then just turn it counterclockwise to open up the chest. Now, a small note I got to make about that is that if you're playing on mobile, a mobile device, the key is going to look very different. It's going to be two different locks. One of them already has a handle in the slot, and then you have to put the key into the other hole, and you have to turn them both at the same time in order to lock them into place. But on PC, obviously can't do that, so it's a bit different. Now then, we're going to open this up and get our hands on a large stone block. Now we're going to go back over to the mirror and bring the put the stone block right on the edge of this stick right here, and then we are going to rotate this around. No, don't zoom out. I said rotate this around in a clockwise fashion. and then once it gets all the way up to the top, you want to pull the handle, and then you want to do that again. The goal is to break through this piece of stone right here, so let's keep bringing it up to the top, and then pulling it down, and eventually we are going to break open. I said break this open. Just a little bit further to go. We're almost there, and we're going to get another piece to put on the mirror as soon as we do this. Let's pull it down. There we go. We have now been given a shard of glass. So now what we're going to do is back out, head up to the mirror right here, and put the shard of glass into the broken mirror. Now this is interesting. It looks like there's a different box in the center than the box that we actually have on the table over here. So how do we access that box? Well, you notice there's a little bit of a combination up at the top that we have to put in. So where are we going to find that? Well, if we back out over here, head to this bit right here, and then drag back and forth, either with your finger on a mobile device or with your mouse, you will reveal the two symbols that you need in order to put in order to access that other box. So it's going to be this symbol and then that symbol. So once we get that, now that we have those, we're going to head back over to the mirror, head to the top, and input those as we saw them, starting off with this one right here, and then this one. These two are going to allow us access to this other box, just like that. Now, remember that gold tower I picked up earlier? Well, you may notice if we zoom in here that one of the gold towers at the top is missing. So let's go ahead and put that into place. And we will be given an ornate ancient dagger. Now before we do anything else, what we're going to do is go ahead and read this note right here. It's not required that you read notes, I just like to do it. Another room, another door, another room. Either you are as lost as I, or more likely, you have forsaken me. Another room, another door. Yet never a pang of hunger, nor the welcome respite of sleep. Another door, another room. I keep a tally in my ledger, but I can no longer count the marks. I count the pages. The writing keeps me sane. I tell myself so. I did not deserve this hell. Now then, back to puzzle solving. What you may notice here is that this door is not in line with this door, so let's fix that. Let's drag this over to the right-hand side to unlock the door directly below us. Looks like we can use our eyepiece, right? So let's do just that. Put on the eyepiece, and you'll notice that there's some markings right here, and if we align the camera like this, they're going to form a doorway to allow us access into another room of this little box. So as I'm sure you'll be able to figure out, the idea here is to align all of these symbols in order to form an archway. So now let's orient the camera like this to form our next doorway. And now we've been given the symbols we need to input into the mirror code slot to bring us back the other box. And you may be wondering, well, what is the significance back in the other box? Well, to put it simply, oh, no, I didn't want to back out. We've been given a dagger, and the dagger does not go anywhere on that box, so we need to go put it in the other box. Let's switch it back. Zoom in on the top of this significantly less fancy box. Put the dagger in place. And we're going to be given a straw effigy and a small gem as a reward. Now, something I want you to make note of before we go anywhere further is that on the back of this box, you'll notice that there are some markings here labeled, even without the effigy you can see that in the top left, mid right, and then right here are marked as X. But you'll notice with the eyepiece on, there's plenty of them that are not marked. How's that going to be important? Well, you'll find out in a second. But for now, what we want to do is head back over to the other box. Oh, that's some lag. Now, if you don't remember the code that we need to get back to the other box, you can always just check the little thing in the ground that we checked earlier. It is going to be this symbol followed by this symbol. This will take us back to the other box. Now all we gotta do is turn ourselves around. Well, first I guess we can zoom in into this box, and then turn ourselves around, and you'll see that there are some buttons back here, or gems rather, including a missing gem up here, and they perfectly line up with the symbols we saw in the other box. So we gotta hit this one, and this one to open it up and give us a note. I see past lives, future lives, impossible lives, as well as a piece of flint. Now that we have these things, we're gonna back out and head over to a little thing right next to the chest right here. We're going to put the straw effigy down here and the piece of flint up here, and then shake the flint back and forth to cause this thing to light on fire, and then watch the fireworks. we've been given two brand new areas to access. This piece over here, or this little room over here, and this thing over here. Now what we're going to do is head back to the crossbow. See, it's still lined up from before. We need to grab a new bolt out of the box, and then load it up like so, pull it back. Double click to zoom in again, and this time we're going to aim at this room over here on the right hand side, at this sandbag right here, pull the switch to fire. Now if we double click in here, we're going to get our hands on a metal object with a star shape at either end. And what are we going to do with this? We're going to head back over to the... No, I didn't want to click on that. Head back over to the treasure chest right here. And then we're going to put it in the center, then close the box. Open it back up again. I said open it back up again. And then we're going to get our hands on a metal shard with a rigid hole in its center. Don't know why it took me so long to grab, but no matter. Now that we have this, we are going to head over back to this box in the center. And then put it right in place right here. Is rotate this thing in the center until you hear it audibly pop out so that you can't move it anymore, and then you'll notice that the outer green rim is going to shift just a tiny bit. Then you can rotate that all the way to align the symbols. And doing so is going to give you a human skull. So then pick that up for yourself, human skull, and we're going to back out, go place this over in this spot right here, right in the center. We'll read the note, sure, why not? I am blind as my reflection. Our gods do not live here. This way brings no salvation. This path is not for my people. I shall seal them from it. Now then, we're going to shift this handle to the right-hand side. And as you can see, we have another one of these boxes, which means we're coming up on the end of the level, so let's rotate this to the left. And now it's time to put on our eyepiece and align some more symbols. Alright, a lot more symbols to sift through this time, but don't worry, just gotta align it right here. And this will forge a new path to a new room. You handled yourself well in the temple. May your good fortune be a light as you navigate ever darker chambers. Alright, and that will be it for this episode. So, thanks for watching. See you for the next one to catch you all on Tuesday for some more The Room 2. Goodbye.